Today's gonna be super chill, guys. We're not gonna have any sort of arguments, no debating. I'm just gonna rank the main characters in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh wait, no, we're gonna debate this, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Okay. What's going on, you guys? James here, and yes, today we're gonna rank the characters of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Someone was so kind to send me a TierMaker list. I've never used it before, but I've been doing my research, and it's actually a really cool way to rank things. You know, you start with S, and then you go to A, B, C, and D for this list, and I'm really excited just to talk about some of these awesome characters, because if you've missed it, I went through Avatar: The Last Airbender for the very first time. You can find all the reviews and the reactions right at the top of the screen. There's a playlist that's made just for you, and yeah, I'm really excited. However, I know you guys are going to be a little upset at some of these characters and where I rank them. It's okay though, we'll have healthy conversation in the comments below, so go ahead and get loud there, guys, and don't forget to like this video because it does a ton to help the channel, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel below and tap on that bell as well, just to stay up to date with anything new, because this week I'm going to be watching, well, I'm going to try to watch the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action movie. Oh man, but you guys told me there's no movie in Ba Sing Se, right? So I should be fine, right? Yeah, should be okay. And Netflix was super kind to send me a screener link for Ju-On Origins, this new exclusive story that surrounds The Grudge. I'm gonna be super scared. So in that review, I might, jump out of my seat. Just saying. And Hamilton drops on Disney Plus this Friday. I have never been in the room where it happens, but thankfully I'm going to be in my room when it happens. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to not sing along because I don't know the soundtrack too well. This is all pretty new to me, so all these Hamilton fanatics have come to me and told me that, I'm not ready. So I'm really excited, guys. If you're excited too, let me know in the comments below, and I can't wait to drop all that content for you this week. So let's waste no more time and get right into me ranking these Avatar characters. I'm gonna put Aang at the bottom. Alrighty, guys, again, this website is TierMaker.com. Somebody sent me this tier list and I'm really thankful. So for all of those who have been sending me recommendations of what to do with Avatar after watching it, you all are very appreciated. Alright, we're gonna start with the first row here. This guy, Aang. He's kind of a big deal. I mean, the entire series is about him. So I'm going to put him clearly all the way at the top. He is the most important character. He's just excellent, and I really do think that Aang has one of the best, if not the best, character arc. Now that's debatable, of course, but throughout the series he's just been excellent. Moving on, because we're going to talk about Aang, and if I continue to talk about Aang, we're going to talk about him all day. So moving on to Appa, and listen, 1, I never thought an air bison was like a thing, and 2, I never thought I would love a bison so much. Appa said literally nothing the entire series, but he said so much. So I'm putting Appa right at the top of. oh, I'm sorry. Alrighty, so next up is Azula. Oh, Azula. Listen, Azula is a great character. She is wonderful. However, I do believe that in the 3rd book, we saw her unhinged. She was always fighting with everyone and anyone may entirely turn on her. Azula is an amazing character. However, I do think I'm going to give her the A ranking. Now, that's not saying she's not great. That's not even saying she's not like one of the best characters in the series. But I think when you put her up against some of the other main characters in the series, I start to go down the list of, okay, well, I would say these characters are excellent, and Azula's like a little below, but she's still wonderful. Again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments, guys. We're gonna move on to Bato, Papa Sokka's homeboy. They fight alongside each other. They're soldiers to the day they die. They're great. Bato's amazing. Although I don't think he got a lot of screen time. Of course, I mean, I get it. He's not one of the main characters, but Bato's really good. I'm going to put him at the B spot. Listen, I might change these rankings that I've already ranked in the middle of the video, but yeah, I like Bato. I just didn't love him. Listen, that doesn't mean he's a bad character. Alright, the worst episode, for example, in Avatar is still one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen. So go figure. Alright, we're moving on to Cabbage Man. Oh man. That poor guy's Cabbage. Did we ever find out what happened to him? I hope they address that in the comics, Because that man in his wagon, they've seen a lot and they've been through a lot. Just for the memes alone, he's really good. But here's the thing. As a character, right? when you have to consider character development, character arc, you have to consider the growth of the character, how much of an importance of the plot does he play. He's good, but he's good for the memes, right? So let's go ahead and set a little standard. I'm going to put him at the C level. He's decent. He's not good or great or excellent. You know what I mean? That's why I love this tier list, man. It gets me thinking. Okay, we're moving on to Combustion Man. All right. You guys saw my book 3 review, right? If you didn't, find it. It's at the top of the screen, hopefully. But Combustion Man was one of the worst parts of book 3. I didn't necessarily think he played a very integral role into the plot. He was just kind of there as a plot device. I get it. Zuko hired him to go and kill the Avatar. And then when Zuko turns over to the good side, he turns around and says, "Don't hurt my boy Aang." So he's actually going up against the person he hired to kill the Avatar. Well, that's a whole mess. However, I just don't really care for his character too much, so I'm going to put him at the D level. Okay, so moving on to Gai Shun. If I mispronounce that, please let me know, but Gai Shun captured Appa in the desert. How do we feel about that? He captured Appa in the freaking desert, alright? That man's responsible for Aang's stress levels, and he's responsible for Appa. Oh god, I'm getting all sad again. Alright, we're putting him at the bottom. Because, you know, not just because I don't like him, but also because he didn't play too much of a huge role in the series at all. But I don't like him. How dare he? How dare he do that? Alright, moving on to Gyatso. Oh, Gyatso is my boy. Oh man, he's wonderful. I love Gyatso so much. So we're going to go ahead and put Gyatso right at the B level. Now, that probably wasn't a popular choice, I'd imagine. But the thing is he as good as Azula? No. That's the thing. Man, looking at this tier list, guys, doing this for the very first time, this pretty fun to see how, you know, my likes pin up against one another. But yeah, Gyatso, he's still awesome. He is the father figure for Aang. Put him at the B level. Y'all know what time it is. Papa Sokka time. Alright, Hakoda is an excellent character. I say excellent, but maybe he's not like the top of the top. He is just still so good. What he did for Sokka and Katara, how they reunited, it provided some of the most emotional moments of the entire series. Oh, Hakoda is so good. Is it okay if I put him at the A tier? I'm gonna put him at the A tier. Hakoda really played a huge part in Book 3. Oh, sorry, my bookmarks bar just came up. But yeah, he played a huge part in Book 3. So let's go ahead and move on to Hama. That lady is, she's a little wild, you know, the whole bloodbending thing. However, she did play an important part because if it was not for the bloodbending that Katara learned because of this puppet master lady, then maybe she's not as powerful towards the end of Book 3. So I'm gonna put Hama. Dang, she also brought a horror element, so now I'm confused. B or C? I'm gonna put her at C, only because she only appeared in one episode. And listen, you know, she wasn't the most important part of that episode. I think it was more so Katara. We're learning about Katara. Is she going to be vengeful or is she going to be forgiving? So putting her at the C tier. Important, not the worst, but definitely not the best. Okay, so let's move on to Haru. Oh, this is Katara's old flame. You know, they had like a little thing, you know, I could tell. But Haru's facial hair in this photo actually is, it's really funny. But yeah, definitely important, but not the most important. I do like what he contributed to the series, though. Overall, Haru is a pretty darn good character. However, I don't necessarily think he's the most integral part of the storyline for Katara. I'm gonna put Haru at the C tier. Wow, I really hope that doesn't make people mad. I like Haru, don't get me wrong, but I just don't know if he's that important in the grand scheme of things. Okay, moving on. You know who this is. You know what time it is. It's Uncle Iroh time, alright? Where's my Tsungi horn? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know, but I want to hear that music again, guys. Leaves from the Vine, Tales of Ba Sing Se, star of that episode. This entire series. You guys heard me gush over him in my Book 3 review, but Uncle Iroh is one of those characters that is just one of the best and well-written characters that I've ever seen in a TV series in my lifetime. Now listen, I'm young. I got more living to live. But honestly, Uncle Iroh's out of this world. He's getting the A tier. You know that, guys. I mean the S tier. Sorry. So we got Aang, Appa, and Uncle Iroh in the S tier. That shouldn't be a surprise, guys. All three of those characters are literally the top of the top in Avatar: The Last Airbender. So let's move on to Zhong, the Fire Nation deserter. He's a member of the Order of the White Lotus, if I'm not mistaken. He's cool. He's cool. That's about it though, right? And honestly, is he as cool as Bato and Gyatso? I don't know, man. I mean, he's a part of that awesome White Lotus squad. Like, he's nice, but now I'm gonna put him at the C tier. Just don't necessarily think that he is among that like good to great to elite ranking. You know what I mean? But still a cool character. Still rock with Zhong. Now we're getting to Jet. Now listen, Jet, I did not like him initially because what he did by just like pretty much betraying the trust of the crew, and he kind of felt unhinged. Got some Lord of the Flies vibes when they were in the in the forest. But I like Jet. And what happened to Jet? What the heck happened to that guy? Well, anyway, Jet is a really cool character, and I really like his growth. I'm giving him the B tier because, man, the way he sacrificed himself kicked him up like 100 notches for me. He wanted to fight for the greater good. I mean, Jet is the man. I like Jet. I really do. So let's go ahead and move on to Jin. That's the girl from Ba Sing Se who developed a crush on Zuko. She taught Zuko a lot about himself through the course of their like early stages of dating. I like her character a ton. Don't think I love her character. I mean, again, I have to look at this like in the overall picture, and she did some really good things for Zuko, but I'll give her the C tier, you know? Pretty average character, cool, you know? It just, she ain't up there. You get me. Alright, let's go ahead to Judy. This is the one that the tour guide, if I'm not mistaken, guys, in the Earth Kingdom, where you can tell she was brainwashed. I feel so bad for her. Oh my gosh, the way they treated her, it was so terrible. And you can tell Aang and the gang really cared about her after learning that, you know, she was brainwashed. But, you know, she was pretty good for that 1 or 2 episode stretch, I think. You know, pretty freaky character. But I'm going to put her at the C tier. You know, I'm trying to reserve that S, A, and B tier for some of these characters that made impacts across multiple episodes, but also that were integral in shaping the formation of the show itself. So let's move on to June. June's pretty cool. June's a bad, I can't say the word, the A word, but she's awesome. I like June a ton. She did play a very important part in helping track down Aang. I like that, even though she was eventually telling them like, hey, Aang, he gone. He on that lion turtle. But I do like June. I think she's a really cool character. I think her awesome skill and her prowess kind of knock her up from that C tier to the B tier. I like June. I'm gonna rock with that. Next up is this is my girl. All right, Katara, and I don't know her last name, but Katara is great. For so long, she was my favorite character in the entire series, and she also played an integral part in the series itself. So yeah, I'm gonna put Katara at the S tier. I'm excited. Alrighty, so moving along to King Boomy. That's my dude. That's my guy. I can't do things with my hands properly. King Boomy is such a fun character, and he provided some of the most important moments for Aang, especially growing as an earthbender. Kind of neat that he was thrown into those different tasks and stuff, and the different trials. Yeah, we're gonna put King Boomy at the A tier. That's my guy. He's funny, he's strong, and also I mean, King Boomy, I don't know how he, you know, got himself out of that thing, but that was pretty cool. Okay, now so looking forward to QA. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but the Earth King, totally naive. That dude didn't know what the heck was going on behind the scenes. He trusted in the Dai Li, he trusted in everybody, but the thing is, you know, it kind of bit him and his bear. I liked him. Don't really think that he was like great, right? I feel like he's a serviceable character for the story and played a very important part in book 2. So put him at the C tier. Cool dude, just like, you know, he ain't up there, if that makes sense. Okay, moving on to Kyoshi. Yo, she is fire. Dude, she's one of the best Avatar spirits. I mean, great character. I love that there was this like kind of mystery behind whether what she did was correct or what she did was like, you know, unethical or ethical. I like this little bit of mystery that the story played with Kyoshi. I'm gonna put Kyoshi. Dude, she's awesome. I'm gonna put her at the A tier. Yeah, I really like her, man. Dude, just Kyoshi's pretty awesome. Okay, so moving on to the traitor, Long Fei. What a like a guy that he elicited a lot of like negative reaction out of me. I don't hate his character at all. I just think that he was so frustrating, right? So I'm gonna put Long Fei because he did play a pretty important role. I'm gonna put him at the B tier. You know, he ain't C level, but he's at the B level. Levels or tiers? What do I call them, guys? It's funny. Okay, who we got next? Oh, Long Shot. Yeah, that dude's pretty cool. I liked him. I like the Freedom Fighters. Honestly, the Freedom Fighters are such a cool part of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, I mean, what more to say about him other than he's a sharpshooter. He understands how to fight. He's definitely a smart fighter. I really like him. I thought that, you know, Longshot was, for the most part, not as important as some of the other members of the Freedom Fighters. But even though I do like him, I don't necessarily think that he's living with Gyatso and Bato and all them, right? And even Jet. So I'm going to put him at the C tier. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to Mei. Oh, man. This is an amazing character. A character that we didn't spend time with all the way from season 1 entirely, like she was mentioned, I think. But I do love the fact that they built this character, and honestly, it showed the evolution of Ty Lee and Mei, how both of them, honestly, were able to go against Azula because they understood that she was too power hungry. So I'm a fan of Mei. I'm putting her at the A tier because she also gets with Zuko at the end, and they're really cute together. The Mechanist, is it Mechanist? I think that's how you pronounce it. I love the gadgetry and everything that we were shown in Day of Black Sun Part 1. I believe it was The Invasion, that's what they called it. Wow. I mean, all of the gadgets that they put together, all the tools that they used. He taught Sokka how to basically flesh out some of his ideas too. A really solid character, man, and I love him and his son. Yeah, I'm rocking with this guy. I'm putting him at the B tier. I like the Mechanist. Let's go to Momo. Momo. That's my dude, man. If Appa is at the S tier, Momo's right there. Look, Aang understands Momo. Momo understands Aang. There are some really funny moments, like the Nightmares and Daydreams episode where Momo's like talking to Aang. This is hilarious. The episode where Momo's going to find Appa, I believe it's Appa's Lost Days, or was it the Tales from Ba Sing Se? I think it was Tales from Ba Sing Se where Momo was trying to find Appa. That was a heavy episode. Not one word of actual English being spoken or dialogue in general, but you understood everything. Momo getting the S tier. That's my dude. Love him so much. Ozai. Ozai. Dude, Fire Lord, Phoenix King, overpowering guy. But the reason I love him so much as a character is because the way they wrote him wasn't just, I'm a dude you're gonna face off in the finale. It was, let me build up this character, let you learn a little bit about him, and then eventually you start to see basically the sins of the father come into play for Ozai. So I'm a fan of Ozai. He is getting the very important S tier because he's a very important character, clearly, but he's also just a really well-written character. Pakku, oh man, Pakku's awesome. He's also very petty. I feel like Pakku doesn't play games, right? I love him. I think that he did well in training Aang and Katara and the Water Tribe in season 1, if I'm not mistaken. But Pakku's cool. I really like Pakku. Really do. I'm gonna give him the B tier. B tier. That dude's awesome. All right, where are we moving on to next, guys? Help me out with this guy's name. I have to go through it now because I genuinely don't remember too much of him. Piandao. Oh, Piandao. Yeah, that's Sokka's sword dude. I love that guy. I think he was fun. Definitely played a very important role in helping Sokka realize that he is much more than just someone who doesn't have bending abilities. So you know we're placing this guy. Especially because Sokka's Master is one of the best episodes, man, of the entire series. Man, it's so good because it's also a Sokka solo episode. Love that episode. We're giving him the B tier. Alright, so before we move on any further, I know we got some awesome names coming up like Pipsqueak and we got Zuko at the end. It's going to be fun. I'm looking here, and B and C tiers are like equal in the amount of characters. S, you know, doing a pretty decent job, I would hope, guys. There's still no one else outside of Combustion Man and the dude from the desert that stole Appa in the D tier. So we'll see if any of these characters fell in that D tier. Let's move on. Okay, so I just mentioned Pipsqueak. I like the irony in his name because the dude is super tall. But I like Pipsqueak and the Duke. They're a good duo. However, separate, if I had to look at them as individual characters, I don't know if Pipsqueak did much for me. Is he a D tier character? No. But is he really that, like, interesting outside of being paired up with the Duke? Probably not. Some cute moments in book 3, sure. But we're gonna give him the C tier. So that tier is growing. Okay, so let's move on to Roku. The Fire Nation avatar. That dude was so mysterious, ominous, but I just genuinely love that episode where you start to learn more about Roku and you start to learn more about Sozin and their backgrounds. Yeah, man. I don't know what else to say that hasn't been said about Roku, but if it wasn't for Roku, I don't think we get the Aang we saw at the end of the episode. So, or the end of the series, I should say. So you know what? We're rocking with... Do I want to do A tier or S tier, guys? I don't know. He's such a great character. You know what? We're doing the S tier. That's my guy. I'm sorry for the pregnant pause there, and I know there's a lot of suspense. I get it. So let's go ahead and move on to Smellerbee, another freedom fighter. Really, I think one of the freedom fighters that I was like most curious about, to be honest with you. Like, Jet is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But when they started teaching us a little bit more about Smellerbee, I'm like, this is someone who was always looking to prove themselves, or themselves, I should say. And I think they did towards the end, definitely. But, you know, average character, again, I just don't necessarily think, like, outside of being a freedom fighter, they're as interesting as some of these other characters. So I would give Smellerbee a C tier. C tier for Smellerbee. I really hope I'm not making you guys mad, but we're moving on to Sokka. That's my dude, Sokka. That's the song I just came up with. So, S is for Sokka, and we're putting him right at the top. You guys know how I feel about him. One of the most matured characters. Went from being misogynistic to inclusive, loving, caring, wanting to do the better, or wanting to do better for the group. So, yeah, Sokka is getting the S tier. So, I love that guy. Sozin, wow. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, if I had to compare both Roku and Sozin, I would put Roku above Sozin. Maybe that's because we've gotten more of Roku, so we were able to see more of his character. Sozin has a comet named after him, for goodness sakes. It's the most important, I guess the most important part of book 3. But yeah, Sozin's really good. Just gonna give him the A tier. Don't be mad at me, please. Okay, so next up is Suki. I am totally in love with their love, if that makes sense, with Sokka and Suki. I really do like that Suki put Sokka in his place, and Sokka was willing to literally fight for her. I love that so much. I'm a huge fan of Suki. She is getting the A tier only because there was this like period of time where she wasn't always present with the main storyline. I think that you can make a case that she was always the reason for some of Sokka's like passion and desire and internal struggle between, you know, wanting to, I guess, like find affection with someone. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I might just be babbling right now, but honestly, I do like Suki. She's at the A tier. Listen, the S tier is reserved for that like excellent status. So we're moving on. We're moving on to Teo. Oh, Teo. Oh my gosh. So Teo's a really cool character. He was the boy who lived with the mechanist, so I guess that's not the mechanist's son. Sorry about that. If I'm wrong or if I'm right, let me know, but I don't think Teo's his son now that I think about it. However, I do like that he was Aang's connection to that part of the Earth Kingdom, where he was able to really feel free again. So that was his childhood connection almost, if that makes sense. Reminding him a lot of being a kid. Teo's really sweet. He's a really sweet guy. I'm gonna give Teo the B tier. I actually do like him quite a bit. More than I would say is like, I guess, worthy for the C tier. Okay, I'm gonna move on before I start talking too much about these characters and y'all, you know, get mad at me. I don't want to neglect anyone, but what we're gonna do now is, this one is one of my favorites, guys. The boulder doesn't go to the D and the C tier. However, does the boulder go into the B tier? I don't think he's an A tier character at all. But there's something not only about the memes, just the how he's been humbled, I guess, because he does go back and, you know, help them out at the end, which is really cool. But when he's trying to go and find Toph, I think that he was a little full of himself, and actually, wait, he speaks in third person. Of course, he's full of himself. But the Boulder's just such a funny character, and I really, really enjoyed the voice acting by Mick Foley. I am gonna put the Boulder at B. B for Boulder, S for Sokka. Hilarious. Okay. All right. Here's one half of that Pipsqueak and the Duke duo. The Duke is a fine character. I just, again, are they that interesting separate? Probably not. So before I spend too much time on that, let's put the Duke at the C tier. Here is one character that I wish got more love in book 3 and got more of a proper send-off. That was maybe one of my other little gripes with Toph. I know we talked about it in the comments, guys. But Toph is an excellent character. How Toph really interacts with the entire crew and learns to evolve as a person, as a human being, is such a beautiful bit of storytelling. I wish we got more of Toph in book 3, guys. I really do. I'm putting Toph where she belongs. Not there. There, right at the S tier. So yes, Toph is up there with the best of the best. Okay, who's next? Oh, Ty Lee. Okay, so I like Ty Lee. I really think that May is a better character than Ty Lee. However, Ty Lee mustering up the strength to stand up against Azula is out of this world. If not for Ty Lee and May standing up to Azula, we don't get that unhinged Azula, which makes for that really cool final Agni Kai. So Ty Lee does a lot more for this series than I think most people give her credit for. So I'll put her up there with May, or May. I gotta stop getting that wrong, but I'm gonna put her at the B tier, because while I think that she's a very important character to the series, I think May is a character that I appreciated a little bit more, maybe in the character development sense, but that's not, of course, Ty Lee's fault. That's more so the writers kind of straying from Ty Lee until the very end, of course, too, where we see her join the Kyoshi Warriors. Kind of cool, like, full circle moment for her. Okay, so here's a character that I'm actually conflicted about. Ursa, which is Azula and Zuko's mother, and Ozai's wife. I'm conflicted because she was banished by Fire Lord Ozai, so she didn't get a lot of screen time. However, we did see some of her in flashbacks, and she's a super sweet mother that really cared for Zuko and understood that Azula was kind of bullying, her son. So it seemed to be, at least for me, that while Ursa's a really cool character, I don't think we got a lot of development in that area other than a few really key episodes. So this might be an unpopular choice here, but I'm putting Ursa at the C tier. Don't get mad at me here, guys, okay? I still think that she's a really cool character, but I guess when you consider the grand scheme of things, when you look at the overall picture, Ursa's more so in the middle of things, if that makes sense. Okay, who is next? Oh, Wan Shi Tong, the owl in the library. That's a creepy owl. That was a creepy entire episode, okay? And then it ended with Appa getting stolen, and I was so upset. So yeah, this owl is wild, okay? This ain't even the creepiest creature in the entire show, but this owl was freaking me out. I literally went to bed and had a dream about this owl. And it was like a nightmare. It wasn't even a good dream. Boy, alrighty, where are we putting this thing? Well, because it made such an impact. However, it made an impact for one episode. However, I dreamed about it. So where do I put this character, guys? Am I doing B or C? B or C? I'm gonna do B because I've never seen a character like this in any sort of animation show or any show in general. So I'm doing B, and sorry, the bookmarks bar again. Okay, so we're moving on to Jin Fu. I gotta pronounce that properly. I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard, guys. But he's the promoter of the Underground Earthbending Tournament. He's cool, but does he really play an important role here? I mean, I don't know. To be honest, really forgettable character. So I think we're adding another one to the D tier. He's just like whatever to me. I don't really care too much for his character. Okay, time for Princess Yue. Oh man. I think... Okay, so when Sokka and Yue start to show that affection, and then she, like, kisses him, they kiss each other, and then, like, she goes and becomes the moon. This was the moment where I understood this show could emotionally impact me on a relatable level, because I'm a sucker for romance. So I was like, oh my god, yes, I could see why they love each other so much. So yeah, Yue's great. However, she's not always a prominent character throughout the series. The way she impacted Sokka in that first season and really fuels a lot of his desires to keep going is really remarkable. But again, she's not always as present as some of these other characters in the S and the A tier, so we're putting her at the B tier. Okay, who's next? Oh, that's like the hip-hop Harry thing. Who's next? Okay, I'm gonna stop now, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so you, who searched for Toph, I think the boulder was just such a recognizable character and overshadowed you. And he's okay, I guess, but again, kind of forgettable, to be honest with you. Not a character that you're gonna go back years from now and like want to talk about, make a video about, for example. So we're gonna put him at the D tier, just because he's not that remarkable. Alright, I'm gonna stop being silly, okay? Alright, so time for Zhao. In episode 1, I knew right away, or episodes 1, 2, and 3, I knew in the first few episodes that this dude was trouble, okay? He was not fun to be around. He was just a downer. He was, oh man, I mean, he very much made me mad, right? So the thing is, I'm glad he got banished to the Fog of Lost Souls, but totally effective character, especially for the time that they used him. However, not always the strongest performer in the room, if that makes sense, or voice in the room. I mean, he's a good character, but I don't know if I love him too much. Boom, C tier. Now, you know what, dude? No. Yeah, let's do C tier. Man, I'm going back and forth here, guys. Okay. So we're ending it with my favorite character in Avatar. The one character that I thought I would actually not like after season 1, and definitely not like after season 2 because he made some stupid decisions. Prince Zuko. Zuko of the Fire Nation, Fire Lord Zuko, my boy, the guy who went from the dark side to the light side. He is the man with the plan. Well, no, that's actually Sokka, but I like Zuko a ton. You know where he belongs, guys. He belongs at the S tier. That boy is fantastic. What a wonderful performance by Dante Bosco. Just so great overall as a character. We could go on, but that's my boy. Okay, so taking a look here now at the complete tier list, I'm actually pretty satisfied with this, guys. Screenshot it because you might get mad at me. Find me on social media and agree with me or yell at me, that's fine. Or in the comments, honestly, let me know what you think of this tier list. But yeah, wow, I am definitely a fan of how I've ranked these characters. I think we did a pretty solid job together. There are some honorable mentions though that weren't in this list because of course I didn't make this tier list. It was already pre-made for me. The creepy face stealer serpent thingy. What's the name here? Ko? I don't play with it. But I would definitely put Ko at the C tier for sure. But yeah, effectively scary. No, you know what? B tier, because I've also never seen anything like that. Lion Turtle, I'm putting Lion Turtle at the B tier. Important creature, a wonderful creature. Bosco, that darn bear. I liked Bosco, don't get me wrong, but I would put Bosco at the C tier. And then there's Fufu Cuddly Poops. That name is so funny to me, guys. Fufu Cuddly Poops. Yeah. Fufu Cuddly Poops would definitely be in the B tier for how cute this darn thing was and how it sat on Sokka's head. It was wonderful. However, that parent, Fufu Cuddly Poops Sr., was definitely very upset. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's my tier list, and wow, I'm so proud of this thing. Alright, guys, again, thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this tier making list. I loved ranking these Avatar characters, and boy, was it so much fun having you right alongside me. Now, get loud in the comments again and let me know what you think of this list. Is it good? Is it worthy for the Avatar fan base? Because listen, I'm still a level 1 Avatar fan. I'm growing every single day. But guys, get loud in the comments below. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 2,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you. Seriously, this channel is not the same if it were not for you. So thank you so much for your love and support, and tap on that bell as well, just to stay up to date with anything new. Okay, guys, well, I got some more stuff to watch. Again, I'm watching some new Netflix content. I'm gonna get started on Umbrella Academy, and I'm thinking about dropping a video of what I've been watching outside of what I have already reviewed for the channel. So stay tuned. I can't wait to see you guys there, and again, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys at the next screening.